they were going to do that.
All right, I will call to order the regular session of the Marshall County Board of Supervisors, July 30th, 2025, 9 a.m. in the courthouse, first floor meeting room. Notice to the public. The Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the podium, which is now on this side, and use the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place the motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate and a roll call vote will follow. Roll call, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve today's agenda.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Okay. Service awards. Our guest of honor is here. So today it's a pleasure to present the 25-year service award to Jill Brockman. Sheriff, would you like to make any comments?
Joel Phillips, Sheriff, Marshall County. Jill's been here obviously for 25 years. She's one of the younger ones in our civil office, but Jill is in the records division. When you think about records, it's police reports, accident reports, but she also is responsible for validating warrant and want records through NCIC, UCR reporting, and to making sure everybody's the deputies' reports are complete and finalized. And then also she gets records for FOIA requests, crash reports for insurance companies, and for those defendants and plaintiffs. So she has a lot of responsibilities at the Sheriff's Office, and I want to thank Jill for 25 years of dedicated service.
Bill, thank you. Yeah. So Jill, if you want to come forward. Let me take a picture of you.
Yeah.
We'll take a picture. Okay. So we'll put you in the middle. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
thanks.
You don't get to speak.
No.
It took a lot to do it.
It took 25 years.
Thanks, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda, which includes the previous regular session minutes of July 16th, 2025, claims as audited, personnel changes, change of employee status for Jeff Robinson, secondary roads, truck driver 2 to truck driver 3 at $32.77 per hour effective August 2nd. Change of employee status for Tim Panzagra, secondary roads, operator 3 to assistant road maintenance superintendent at $36.39 per hour effective August 3rd, 2025. Change of employee status for Austin Ewalt, secondary roads mechanic 4 to operations superintendent at $36.39 per hour effective August 3rd. New hire Benjamin Scott, the Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sheriff at $31.21 per hour to start on or after August 11, 2025. File manure management plans, Edler Brothers Farm, Section 33, number 64799, 1812 West Main Street Road, State Center, signed with no changes. Mud Creek Feeders, number 67869, 33674 720th Avenue, Collins, signed with changes. And that is the end of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item number 8, Resolution 2025-0020 to designate voting representatives for the Iowa State Association of Counties. I would,
This
is
was a thing we received from ISAC, that they are needing to have a resolution from the Board of Supervisors.
yeah.
And they said we received it before, and they sent it to the supervisors and the auditor, and I don't recall us receiving it, but we obviously missed it, so
Okay.
we'll get it completed now.
And this just has us as elected officials or department heads as the designee to vote within its own affiliate.
Affiliate,
Right.
yes, as
So it-
the affiliate to vote.
It
So-
designates all three of us as voting, as able to vote for
Yes,
ISAC.
and all the department heads
Right.
and elected officials.
Right.
So it's a long list of everybody.
I wonder if it's like some have had staff voting for them at ISAC that instead of the actual department head or elected official or what, I don't know what's the need for it, but I
I-
think this just designates what we're already actually doing.
Yes, but I know that the two affiliates I'm affiliated with, if I'm absent, they allow
Proxy.
a proxy to vote too. So
Do you,
But
and
you
you
have a-
sign off on that though, right?
usually I email the president of the
Yep.
association to
Yeah.
let them know I'm not attending, but,
Yeah.
and that I'm, Jesse Cheezick will be attending, or Sarah, or, and let them know who's attending in my stead. So, yeah, this is a first. I haven't seen this before. But
Okay.
there's been a lot of changes in a lot of counties, so I'm wondering if that maybe is why.
Could be. Well, it puts it in writing what we're already doing, so.
Exactly.
All right. I would entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt Resolution 2025-0020 to designate voting representatives for the Iowa State Association of Counties.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item number 9. Marshall County Actuarial Services Self-Insured Health Plan, discussion and possible action.
So this one is similar to the one that was on the 16th. And we do these every year, but the reason the date is as it is because the actuarial date is out 2.5 years past to get that actuarial estimate into the future. So that's why the dates are kind of odd and out into the future. So mine's 509A, and this, which I think is what this one is. Yeah, this is the 509A agreement, and the one we did last time has a different designation, which was for the retiree healthcare. So they each have a different name, but, very exciting things that Maria does in the accounting side of our department.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'll make the motion to approve the actual services agreement by and between the Howard E. Nyhart Company Incorporated and Marshall County continuing through June 30th, 2026 for compliance with the Iowa Department of Commerce Insurance and Actuarial Opinion and authorize the chair to sign.
Second?
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item number 10, hazard mitigation grant closure. Kim, do you want to address this issue?
Morning, Kim Elder, Emergency Management Coordinator. Seems strange to be on this side of the room, but I'll get used to it. So this is the hazard mitigation grant that the county hosted basically for any jurisdiction that wanted to get a outdoor warning siren for their community. And we had 10 sirens set up during that time. And then we built the backbone. So we built the repeaters, the unit that works at the communication center. And we have all of that built out so that when we want to add somewhere out in the county another siren, we can do that. It's all ready to go. We just put a siren in. So, been a long time coming, but finally grant closure, which is nice. So that means we've met all the guidelines, we've finished all the projects. They've gone out and surveyed everything that we've done, and it's, we got the letter of closure. So the next step then is transferring those sirens' ownership back to the jurisdiction that they're in.
Okay.
So then it is their responsibility to care for it. The warranty will follow that, that's not a problem.
How long is the warranty?
The warranty really varies on what part of the siren it is.
I see.
So I've got all that paperwork, and I'll be transferring that out to each of the jurisdictions. The radio side of things, and I haven't talked to Rhonda with the communications center, but most of that radio communications part of it will fall back on the communications commission if there's like a issue with transmitting from the communication center to that radio. But if the radio itself, let's say, got struck by lightning that is inside the siren, then obviously those jurisdictions would need to take care of that. So if it's just a communications issue, we should be taking care of that, but it would be up to them to replace parts. I've talked to Blue Valley Public Safety. Everything's working, doing well. We haven't had much issue at all. There was a little bit of can't control radio skip, so sometimes there's some interference with that, but overall, everything looks good. The road siren, Raycom is currently working on a communications issue with it. It seems to be on the communications side. It's not the siren.
Okay.
They do have an old siren or a legacy siren that's working there, so they are covered. Laurel, on the other hand, has some issues that we haven't been able to determine what it is, and Blue Valley will be up to work on that one next week. They've been kind of bombarded too because of all the weather everywhere, so they've been busy, but we are working on that. So, and just a reminder, they're outdoor warning sirens. I've been telling everybody about that, so I had concerns about, they're not working in a city, what do? We don't get an alert. Well, they're only intended to be if you're outdoor and you can't get another warning for whatever reason. So been advertising, talking about all the other pieces of the puzzle. And so today is mainly for transferring those to Melbourne Roads, St. Anthony State Center, Ferguson, Gilman, Haverhill, Laurel, and Liscum. The Grimes Farm will obviously stay underneath the county. The Digipeters will stay underneath the county, which are three. State Center has the west, the jail, or the sheriff's office has the center repeater, and then Pickering is the east repeater. And then the communications center is pretty much covering all, like I said, the communications part, which we have a backup at the sheriff's office and my office also. So, yeah, so that's what we're looking for. Once it's signed off here, then I'll get it out to all of those cities, get their signature on them, and like I said, get them the paperwork so they have the warranty paperwork and they have all that. And then I still work, with Blue Valley. It's not like I'm just going to drop it and not be that middle person. I'll help them communicate if they have problems with it, but they will also have information to communicate back. So questions on that?
No.
Okay.
A lot of work. went into
Yeah,
it.
there, thank goodness it's been well worth the work.
How
It's-
many years? Yeah.
I think we're getting into we're past 4, so
Yeah.
about 4.5. Yeah, so it takes
lot
a
of work.
while.
Thank you for all
Yep,
your work
you're
on it.
welcome.
I will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we have the closure of the hazard mitigation grant for the outdoor warning sirens in Marshall County and authorize the chair to sign the equipment transfer forms to each jurisdiction.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes?
Heil,
Yes.
Okay. Item number 11, approve zoning variance 2025, variance 6027 for Dan Matzinger, approved by the zoning commission on July 23rd, 2025, and authorize the chair to sign. Tyler?
Tyler Kelly, Marshall County Planning and Zoning. So this was a subdivision requirement variance that got brought up, I think, in late May. We've worked it through the zoning commission and they've recommended approval. Typically, in one of these situations where there's more than two splits, it requires a subdivision plat to be filed. In several unique situations, we don't require that and we go through with a variance for a situation like this. In the words of the zoning commission, this is exactly what our variance was designed for. On this particular property, they're splitting apart 5 different parcels to one to quit claim deed, a little sliver that actually was filed to be released to the landowner to the north. That never got happened. And then there's a little bitty 0.35 acres that's actually goes with the property, but it's directly across the road and is more driveway than it is anything else. So that was the 2 main concerns that the landowners wanted to get straightened out. And then the primary reason for their split is they wanted to equally divide the property to around 60 acres apiece. Going forward, if they were ever to deal with handing it down to their children, the 2 brothers wanted to have an equal split of the property to give down to their children. So this is the property in question. The orange piece is a quitclaim deed that'll go to the landowner right there. They've been storing hay there for the last 25 years, so it's no change to them. And then, like I say, the little piece across the street, that's just a driveway that has never been used for any kind of agricultural use or anything like that. The landowners to the north actually thought that they owned it all these years. So it'll basically, I think there's one more picture or one more file that splits them, shows the split evenly. Not that one. Yeah, right there. So the L section and then the straight narrow one, those 2 equal about 60 acres, and then the other chunk will go to will be for the other brother if they ever were to split the property with their children. So it's one of those things, they're splitting apart everything to put it back together a lot cleaner than it was before.
Any other questions, comments for Tyler?
Within the zoning commission, was there any real heavy debate on it, or was it pretty much a?
Not at all. We received, so every time that I send out the letters, it says, we're looking at a subdivision plat or something like that, everybody calls thinking we're building houses. And that's normally 95% of the calls, hey, I don't want this to change into some subdivision right next to my family farm has been the last 10 years. So talking them down off of that, you just have to basically go through the use of the land's not going to change, the tenant's not going to the person that farms it's not going to change. It's just going to be split differently than it is before.
Great.
And then I also, as part of that meeting, the landowners that were in question to the north and that house right there, they were present at the meeting, and like I said, they had no concerns because they thought they had the ground out this whole time. So.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll make the motion to approve
Thank you,
the
Tyler.
zoning variance 2025 variance 6027 for Dan Matzinger, approved by the Zoning Commission on July 23rd, 2025, and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second.
All right, any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, item number 12, approve the purchase of 2025 however you say that, 960 HDXL power angle broom from the Central Iowa Farm Store in Marshalltown for $9,500. Paul?
Paul Vanderfelt, County Engineer. This is a purchase of a broom attachment for our Kubota track loaders, and we used to have a broom that would attach to the trucks, and it was really high wear and really hard on trucks, and we decided we're just going to go with the Kubota attachment in the hope that it lasts better. And it's a good tool if we if we have a spot where somebody, not a county truck, dumps some rock on the pavement, because that's instantly a safety hazard, and we want to get out there and get that cleaned up. And we've also had recently, with the repeated flash flood events, there's been quite a few areas where we've had shoulder rock that will go down a hill and wash rock out onto the pavement. And we can go in and, broom out a half mile pretty quick with the track loader with this. So that's why we're adding this, but this will be paid out of our current equipment budget. And I think they said 7 to 10 days out after we order it, so.
Okay. I will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the purchase of the 2025 Erskine 960 HDXL Power Angle Broom from Central Iowa Farm Store in Marshtown for $9,500.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Goodman,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Moving on to item 13, public forum, which is time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum.
Kim Elder, Emergency Management. A couple of things. I have a new hire, which is exciting. After working alone in the office for a long time, it's going to take some getting used to. I told him, so I can't talk to myself anymore. But Matt Vogler is who we chose for the position. He is part-time. He'll still remain on at Unity Point Ambulance is where he's currently working. So be nice to have somebody in there. He's already been in learning a lot, even though he doesn't officially start till next week. So, so just wanted to announce that. And then questions. I've had a ton of questions with all these storms moving through. Obviously, how do we track it? What's going on? I just want to remind everybody, my Facebook is not how to know if there's a storm coming. I do try to stay up, especially over these overnight ones. I'll stay up and make sure that I put out as much information as I can, but I remind people that if there's a tornado warning, I am not going to be sitting at the computer 90% of the time putting that in. So just a reminder there. But had questions on why 2 nights ago, the storms that were coming through online. Of course, people get all kinds of nice ideas. And there were a lot of pages saying it was going to be a derecho. Why weren't we calling it a derecho? That's usually something that's determined after the fact because they have to measure certain parameters. 250 miles wide, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and then adding some other things there. So they did determine that was a derecho after all, but they can't always say that ahead of time. Now, there's some that are obvious, but that one wasn't necessarily. So
That's a National Weather Service.
yes, it is a
determination.
National Weather
Yeah.
Service thing. So I'm not the one that determines, when these warnings and watches go out. I've had a lot of questions on how do we get alerts, and I've tried to put more education out there of make sure that your phone settings are correct. And sometimes it's a carrier issue. Sometimes it's your cell phone carrier does not push out an alert for whatever reason. We've seen that happen. Sometimes it's just because your phone isn't set up right. I tout Alert Iowa a lot. Alert Iowa is really a good, something you can tailor to what you actually want to get through your service, and so I remind people to go back and check your settings on that too. So it's been more of an education thing. I just, especially with everything that's been in the news with Texas and New Mexico and so many floods that have affected people, don't rely on just one type of way to get your information. Questions that I get locally a lot of times are, how do we know it's safe to come out of our safe area if there's a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning? There's not an all clear, never has been an all clear. It's a matter of you paying attention to local radar, your local media, looking at the apps and just determining, because if we give an all clear, whether it's the weather service or whoever, if they give an all clear and there's another storm coming, there's a huge liability there. So make sure you're aware of what's going on. The weather radio is a really easy way to get a lot of that information. It seems antiquated, but it's really a good piece of equipment that you can just push the radio button and it'll talk to you about where the storms are, what's coming behind it, that kind of thing. So really simple. So I've been talking about that. So most of what we've been seeing for damage-wise, a lot of reports of tree limbs, the typical when we get a big wind through in the summertime. Your trees have a lot of leaves on them right now, and when you get a wind, it's like a sail, it catches them, and it rips a lot of big tree limbs down. So that's been a thing. A few uprooted trees because the ground is so wet, it doesn't take much of a wind. But we have been very lucky. We haven't been seeing what like Northwest Iowa has been just bombarded. River gauges, the Iowa River's been up, most of the summer, and it's going to hit about 19.4 is the prediction tomorrow morning. That's at minor flood stage, so doesn't affect a lot at that.
And that's been updated since last night, right?
Since last night. That was just recently. That does change as we get more rains coming through, like if we get some thunderstorms popping up, especially north of our area, they'll adjust that. But that right now, that's what it's at. Our moderate flood stage is not till almost 4 foot higher, so 23 is our moderate, where we'll start seeing some road closures. But we have seen some of the flash flooding. I know the sheriff's office had, some water over the road posted last night, and so LeGrand, Gilman, we've had some of those that come up over the road, and that's basically your ditches and your culverts and bridges just can't handle that much, and so it'll come up over the road and then it goes down just about as fast as it came up. So basically those flash flooding is what we really need to watch for. I know Timber Creek, just north of Highway 30, it's been coming up dramatically and fast. But it just can't handle the rains that we're getting, and the ground's already saturated. So I just remind people that flash flooding is deadly, so don't be driving through it. We don't know if that culvert or, the roadway is not necessarily strong underneath there. So yep, and report it. We've been having some pretty good reporting of water over the road, and then I've had people say, well, I reported it, but nobody came out. It's just a matter of there's so many places. It's kind of like the rock washing out of the road. You can only get there so fast because there's so many places that are being affected. So.
And we only have so many signs.
You only have so many signs. You can't post somebody at every spot. So it's up to the public to make sure that they're not driving through it. Put it out there, let people know that it's there. At night, it's really dangerous, and that's where we've been seeing it because the storms are happening overnight. If you come up on that water, absolutely don't get into it. So, but really, we've been fairly lucky with the wind part of things. We're just not seeing that. Thank goodness. We're not done. It's still summer, but yeah. Any questions on storms or no?
No. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you
welcome.
for the update. Emily.
Emily, Hearing Director, County Conservation. I figured I'd follow up on Kim. We have multiple areas that are currently closed due to flooding and erosion issues. Grammar Grove is getting closed today. Arnie Bend will be closed today. Furrow Access is closed. We should be fine at Timmins. Greencastle got 4.7 inches of rain last night, so the lake is about a foot higher, and we've got some erosion issues. So if people could avoid Greencastle today, that would be nice. We'll have the staff working to try to get ready for the grand opening on Friday. So I think those are the closures for sure for now, and I know Jeremiah was out first thing this morning, going to every park to see if there was any other damages.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the grand opening?
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a grand opening now. We are having a grand opening on Friday night. Ribbon cutting is at 5:45 for the Greencastle Campground. After that, the Friends of Marshall County Conservation will have a free donation hot dog bar. So if you want a chili hot dog or sauerkraut or whatever, it'll be a fun thing. Then we'll also have s'mores, and we're having live music as well, which is, it's all free. We'll have yard games and just a fun evening to come out and celebrate Greencastle Campground being finally constructed. So, yay. Love to have everybody out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone else? All right, we will move on to adjournment. The next regular session is scheduled for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025 at 9 a.m. at the courthouse, first floor meeting room, right here. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor recorder's office or the board of supervisors, or email via the board clerk by Wednesday, August 6, 2025 at noon. There being no further business to come before the meeting, we are adjourned at 9:32 a.m.